Vulture row glare. What is the crack? Back in the gym. Squats, another full body session. So again, I got me cons on, got my heel plates in. Starting off with an all technique set with just the bar, concentrating on form. Want to get that right. I raised the cash bars there because they were a little bit low. I have no one spotting me today, so it's important that you have those at the right height. Warm up set then on 60 kilos. That's fine. Then I moved on up to 95 kilos again, so I kept it the same weight as I did the last time. Last time I did this workout a couple of days ago, I only got 2 sets of 10 and then I dropped the weight for my final third set. So this time I'm going to go for 3 sets of about 10. So again, aiming in for about 8 to 12. If you're only getting 8 reps, move down the weight. If you're getting 12 reps easy, move up the weight. So this is my second set. Again, only 60 seconds to 90 seconds rest in between these, and I am timing it. Alright? And in that rest time, normally what I'm doing is just a bit of ball work, just as you saw there a minute ago, just practicing some simple skills. You don't have a lot of time to rest, so this was my third set. So this was the one where I've seen could I improve on the last day. And just to kind of make you aware, like, I did front squats only 2 days ago, and I actually did a load of leg work yesterday. So before this workout I did a load of extra leg work as well, and you know, I'm still coming into the gym and lifting heavy and making improvements. So my nutrition and my sleep are on point, so I'm making really good gains. Whereas if that nutrition wasn't on point, then I wouldn't be making anywhere near as good a gains as these. So I'm on to my final set here, and I'm on my drop set. So really dropping the weight down again, same as I did the last time, just banging out for about 10 reps. Going to fatigue, like real heavy fatigue, but not going to failure. I know I might have mentioned in the other ones going to failure, but not literally going to failure.
Bollocks.
Moving on then to dumbbell press. Again, I just do a little bit of a practice on technique, just with my arms, kind of visualization more so than anything, and then into a nice warm-up set. So 10 reps there. That's usually nice and light. I think I got 20 kilos on that. And then I move it up to my working set. So this is the first upper body exercise, which is why we got the warm-up set at the start. So again, we're going for 3 sets of 10. Now the last day I did, on this workout, I did bench press, but dumbbell press is a good substitute in if you don't have the bench press. I decided to do dumbbells today because I just wanted to vary it up for you basically. And the bench press is obviously your best one, but some people are just kind of worried if they don't have a partner in there to spot them. So this is obviously one that's a little bit more comfortable for people. So my first set was actually quite heavy. I think you only got 8 reps on my first one, so I dropped it down to 35 kilos. It was 37.5, dropped it down to 35 and went for another, aim for about 10. I think I got 9 in that one. So again, I just dropped it down again. So I went down to 32, so aiming for 10 sets or 10 reps. And that's a good way to do it. You know, if you don't get 10 reps, then try and drop the weight. And if you get 12 reps, pretty easy, then up the weight. Okay, so I'm on my third set here now. Went from 37.5 to 35 to 32.5 kilos. So there's nothing wrong with doing that. And then finished off with an all drop set back to 20 kilos, the same weight I used on my warm up. And just hitting out about 10 of those as well. Next one then moved on to dumbbell rows this time. So the last time I did barbell rows, so this is a good swap in for barbell rows, dumbbell rows. It's particularly useful because some gyms don't have a lot of barbells, so the dumbbells are a lot handier. And again, I just did a light warm up with the 2 hands and then moved into my working sets. With this one, because you're doing one side at a time, you literally just swap over straight away. So you do row on one side and then swap over to the other side. Now just some bits on form here. Obviously your back has to be really straight. That's the most important thing, keeping the back like a plank of wood. And we'll be familiar with that. I've talked about that before. So really keeping that back nice and straight. You can do it like this with the knee up on the bench, or you can leave the foot on the ground as long as you've got a good solid base and you've got that arm out in front of you which is solid as well. And what you're doing really is you're rowing it up towards your hip. You're not rowing it towards your chest. You're trying to row it more so towards your hip. And I like to drop the scapula. So some people say, oh, stabilize the scapula and leave it where it is. But I actually like to leave the scapula protract. So any people who are very familiar with anatomy will know what that is. I like to let my scapula protract at the bottom of the movement. It just gives me a little bit more range. Other people will say stabilize the scapula, but I prefer to not do that and to get more range in there. So my drop set then, what I did was I did my final third set on my right side and then went straight into a drop set on the right side, and did, as you can see here, my final set on my left side and then straight into a drop set. So yeah, this was killer now. This was tiring enough. And that is kind of our main back exercise for the day. So moved on then to shoulders. So shoulder press. The last time again I did barbell press, and barbell press would be a good one as well. Barbell press would be again one that it's, if you're in a gym that doesn't have barbells and there's a lot of people there, it's just easier to do dumbbell press at times, like so, and people seem to be more confident doing dumbbell press. So I mean, you can work away with that obviously, but do try and get into barbell press every so often. So again, aim for 3 sets of 10. My first one was pretty good, so I kept the same weight for the second one. And with this, I think it's very important that you get good range of motion in this movement. A lot of people will only bring the bars or the barbell or even the dumbbells down to eye height level, or down to when they make almost a horizontal line with their arms. So if you can imagine, when you're looking at mine here, my elbows are breaking parallel when they come down, so at the bottom it's breaking parallel. A lot of people only go to parallel, which isn't full range of motion, and by breaking parallel you're actually getting a lot more emphasis on the delts, the shoulder muscles. So very similar again, drop set at the end, hitting out as many reps as I can and really feeling around the shoulders. So even on the drop set I'm going all the way down to the bottom. If you don't bring it all the way down to the bottom, you're only kind of getting your triceps and not as much delts. So after that, straight into hammer curls. The last time I did actually 2 days ago, I did barbell curls. So they were more, they're hitting biceps as well, but the hammer curls are hitting brachioradialis more so than any other of the biceps. So you're going to also be getting your biceps here as well, but there's just more of an emphasis on brachioradialis if you're familiar with your anatomy. And I'll be doing stuff on anatomy in the future and fill you in and all that. So there's no need to do a warm-up set here because our upper body is nice and warm already. So third set now. I had to drop the weight for the third set just because I felt my form wasn't as good. I wasn't getting all the way up to the top. Again with these, try and avoid any kind of a swinging motion. Now on your last couple of reps you can get a little bit of a swing going just to give you a hand. But if you are doing a bit of a swing, definitely try and slow it as much as you can on the way down. Okay, so the eccentric phase, you gotta try and slow it as much as you can on the way down. You can swing it up to the top, but then slow it on the way down. And then my drop set, then towards the end, I just started banging out as many as I could. Really get a lot of blood in there. Tunes! Yeah! Finally then, this was kind of my second leg exercise. and I really like these for sport. They are really good for agility. So I do 10 each side, and I take no rest in between on the first 2 sets. So obviously side plank position and then kicking out your leg, and you really want to try and keep your body, you want to keep it all in one plane, so you don't want your leg coming out to the front. You really want to keep it coming out to the side so that you're getting your glute med is the muscle that we're working here. And what you'll actually find is that it's the leg that's on the ground that has to work the hardest. So it's the glutes of the leg that's on the ground that has to work the hardest, not the leg that goes up into the air. So I do 10 on the left, 10 on the right, straight back into 10 on the left, 10 on the right, and then actually I have to take a bit of a break, like do a bit of singing.
So many lemons, 'cause I am so bitter. My friends make it very much bitter.
And then after a bit of a break, back into, because it is killer, like it is a burn. When you put the arms down there, it's a little bit easier when you have the arms down there because it just gives you a bit of stability. So on the last set, I will put my other arm on the ground just to give me a little bit of a hand. And that was more or less it. If you liked the video, please do subscribe. Porta Glacha in our broad. Agus brish to Gevla.